to confuse the public about science, to confuse scientists about science. What about that? What?
I will not show my independence, and I will not be making my own decisions.
In 2009, a bipartisan Congress created the Center for Tobacco Products at the FDA, and then the President signed this into law. And no, the fact that Congress and the President agreed on something is not what was historic. It was that for the first time ever, FDA, since the time we were established in 1906, we're really the gold standard agency to make sure that every product you put on or in your body is safe and effective.
Bullshit. The FDA is expanding a recall of a popular blood pressure drug over concern it may contain an unwanted ingredient that can cause cancer.
Tonight, for people on medication to treat high blood pressure, the Food and Drug Administration is recalling several drugs that contain an ingredient, valsartan. That drug includes an agent that could cause cancer.
Pfizer recalls its popular anti-smoking drug Chantix over a possible cancer risk.
The recall was secondary to some unknown quantities of a chemical called NMDA. We do know that it can cause direct liver injury.
Now to the Food and Drug Administration and to questions of regulation. The salmonella outbreak and the major egg recall have raised questions once again about whether an agency charged with regulating drugs and food can adequately do its job.
I can share that, at least from where FDA's perspective is, we would prefer to not have kids on the continuum of risk, if at all possible.
It's broke. Let's try it again.
I will not show my independence, and I will not be making my own decisions.
In 2009, a bipartisan Congress created the Center for Tobacco Products at the FDA, and then the President signed this into law. And no, the fact that Congress and the President agreed on something is not what was historic. It was that for the first time ever, FDA, since the time we were established in 1906, we're really the gold standard agency to make sure that every product you put on or in your body is safe and effective.
Bullshit. The FDA is expanding a recall of a popular blood pressure drug over concern it may contain an unwanted ingredient that can cause cancer.
Tonight, for people on medication to treat high blood pressure, the Food and Drug Administration is recalling several drugs that contain an ingredient, valsartan. That drug includes an agent that could cause cancer.
Pfizer recalls its popular anti-smoking drug Chantix over a possible cancer risk.
The recall was secondary to some unknown quantities of a chemical called NMDA. We do know that it can cause direct liver injury.
Now to the Food and Drug Administration and to questions of regulation. The salmonella outbreak and the major egg recall have raised questions once again about whether an agency charged with regulating drugs and food can adequately do its job.
I can share that, at least from where FDA's perspective is, we would prefer to not have kids on the continuum of risk, if at all possible. But we recognize that's not possible because kids are kids, and there's many, many, many reasons why they choose to do different types of things. If we get asked a specific question by a teen, either a direct message to us or via social media about the relative harms of vaping versus cigarettes, we try to be as clear as possible that if your comparator is a cigarette, vaping is less harmful. As kids are incredibly smart. I'm sure both of these gentlemen, I'm sure, see that, and they have a crap detector a mile wide. We have not tried to tackle that directly in any of our proactive messaging, but when we get questions specifically in social or direct message, that's when we have that one-on-one dialogue.
The FDA today calling it a dangerous epidemic.
The FDA calls teen vaping an epidemic.
Vaping is not as harmful as smoking.
You suck!
There. Hello, and how the hell is everybody doing? I did a little boomer. I who knew if you touch your earbud, it pauses the video. I did not know that. I was just trying to make sure that these new earbuds were in good, and damn it, it paused. It paused the video. But anyway, hello everyone. I see Addie's here, and Michael's here, and Steve is here. I need one of those romper room mirrors. And Mallory's here. There's people here. Hello, people. What's going on, man? How's it hanging? But anyway, we got stuff to talk about, and Kevin's already whining that he has to leave early tonight. So we need to jump right in. So let's bring Kevin in.
Don't start with me, mister. Those cute little memes you had.
He's whining.
Listen, I'm curious how these little kids have crap detectors a mile wide or whatever the fuck she said, and then they're all brain damaged.
They're brain damaged. Brain damaged, man. Yeah.
So I need some clarification from Nancy there, whatever her name is, Kathy.
Kathy.
My God.
That's Kathy.
How are you, Patrick?
Same shit, different day, man.
I did enjoy those little memes you made of me. That was cute.
I told you I was going to do that, and I
think you aggravated Snively.
I had a few minutes. So, I got the video editor out, and I you, and I made you into a GIF file. So now you can put that on your phone.
That's on my resume.
Anytime you want.
Part of my resume.
I was actually hoping to get one with your actual finger, like you do, like this, but whatever. That's what I got.
I do that on occasion.
I know. So here's the other one. This one I need to redo because it's kind of lower quality. But I think it works. It works,
Yeah, all right. That's enough of that.
Oh, did you see Jeffrey?
Wow.
So now I am not as good a videographer as Jeffrey is. I mean, Jeffrey's making long form, documentaries.
He probably made me look good looking.
But I'm very proud of my video presentation of Kathleen Crosby, who
I'm pleased.
If you didn't know, she's going to be the new head of the unTRUTH initiative. And
that's right.
We already have video evidence of her admitting that they know the truth. And if somebody actually comes up one-on-one and asks them a question, they will tell the truth. But in their multi-million-dollar media campaigns that they're running, they're not going to tell the truth. I mean,
well, Dr. Gardner was there. I know. Skip was there, I believe. Mr. Sliss was there at the e-cigarette summit where she.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and it's on video, duh. But
I got video evidence. I actually have the whole thing now.
Yeah.
I did some selective editing, but I did not take anything out of context. There was no her saying, when she says that vaping is safer than smoking, that is actual in context. But I did just clip that one little bit because the video is 3 minutes long, which for my intro, which was kind of why I made it, even though it was fun to put on Twitter, was just for the intro. And, 3 minutes is long enough for the intro video to tell you. I think, but I still think we're going to have a period of time of high jinks and fun.
Yes.
I fully expect that at some point the truth might try to block me. Maybe.
They haven't blocked me yet. That's pretty.
But Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids blocked you, and they still haven't blocked me.
Yep.
So if she had gone there, I would have gone in both barrels. But actually, since
she's no different than Koval.
We have such great versions of her saying yes. Even the longer clip where she says, if cigarette is your comparator, vaping is less harmful than cigarettes. I mean, we have never said vaping is harmless. When we talk about the risk profile or the continuum of risk, we always say safer than
it's a 5. If cigarettes are 100, they're a 5.
So, Steve, we will talk about what you just said, what you just typed in the room. Well, we could do it now, but that goes later on for the tweet of the week. There is some skullduggery and stuff going on. Needless to say, Twitter is not removing the block button. It's not possible. Plus, it's no longer called Twitter. It's X. X. It's X. So, how the hell was your week, young man? See, I'll lie and I'll already start lying, and I'll call you young man.
Quiet. I realized that, and I pointed out to my boy that his son didn't have any terrible 2s or 3s or 4s, and he's almost 5. So what I'm hoping for is that he's going to have like terrible 13s. That's what I'm gaining.
Are you like wanting your grandchild to be terrible? Is that what you're
about 13? Yeah, about 13 years old. Yeah, so I can just sit and laugh. He's way smarter than me.
Yeah, really. That's not a
He's already 5, just about.
But I mean, he's smarter than you is not really a leap. I mean,
well, no, but.
So last week I had such a hard time because I had to wear my cans because the Bluetooth headphones would not charge or did not charge. So this week I have 4 sets of headphones, of wireless Bluetooth headphones, just in case one of them fails.
All charged up, ready to go.
They're all charged up according to the
Michael. Yes,
the stuff. So I don't have to wear the fucking cans again. But speaking of cans, Kevin, you're gonna enjoy. You're gonna enjoy this story. You are gonna enjoy this story. So now, when you see this, you're gonna go, "What?" So anyway, here I'm gonna share it.
I always keep my expectations low with you, Patrick. You know that.
This is from Fox 8. This is near New Orleans. It's Louisiana. It says double homicide began as a vape shop robbery that ended in deadly shootout, police say. And then they're sharing video here. I don't know that I want to actually, just in case somebody's getting actual shot in this video, I'm not gonna.
Not in the one that I saw, which looks the same, but I'm not sure of.
I'm gonna err on the side of caution, not because I'm afraid that the video will get banned or anything like that, just because I don't want to watch videos of people getting killed. But anyway, it says a double homicide at a Shreveport vape shop began as a robbery that ended in a shootout between at least one customer and the robbery suspects, police say. 2 of the robbery suspects, 19-year-old Anthony Lee and 18-year-old Martavius Henderson, were struck by gunfire, and they ultimately succumbed to their injuries. So this is the head-scratchy part, Kev. If two individuals come in to rob the store and are shot while trying to rob the store, how are they characterizing this as a double homicide?
Well, because they left the store and then the customers engaged from there. Which was it rhetorical or were you serious? I'm sorry.
Well, depending on how the state law is written for castle doctrine, you can actually shoot somebody while trying to escape as long as they're. But
I know, but you got to see. There's no common sense in any of this.
Yeah. Now, if they were shot here in the doorway of this video,
armed,
as they are armed. And that they, and they were if they had left the building and the customers who were outside, because the story here, we'll just keep going for a minute here.
Yeah.
So now detectives are sharing surveillance videos and photographs in hopes of someone can help identify the third robbery suspect as well as the 2 customers who were in the store at the time of the robbery. So there's some photographs of some people. Now, police say that the surveillance camera images show 2 customers who engaged the 3 robbers in a shootout outside the Shreveport vape shop, killing 2 of the suspects. Now, detectives are asking for help identifying the customers. Now, my question is, if these 2 guys, if the 2 customers, if the 2 customers were in the vape shop when the robbery initiated, now, how bad of an armed robber do you have to be to allow 2 people to go out the front door and then lay in wait for you while you leave the scene of the crime? I mean, if I'm gonna be a bad villain guy, if I'm gonna do bad things, Kevin, I'm gonna make sure that I contain everybody. Like, I'm not gonna allow anybody to leave the store and go to their car and get their gun. It's not happening.
Don't move kind of movie.
Yeah. Get on your belly or I will shoot you and stuff. So Lee Henderson and another male were armed when they entered the business in the 1900 block of Centenary Boulevard about 4:55 on Saturday afternoon. At one point during the holdup, 2 of the 3 robbers jumped the counter and took a handgun and other items from the store clerk. So the store clerk had a handgun. Now, if I'm on this side of the counter, I'm not Monday morning quarterbacking here, but if I'm behind the counter and they're on the other side of the counter and I got a gun, I ain't gonna let them take my gun.
Or die trying, right?
I'm gonna hit the ground and wait for them to come over, and then I'm gonna shoot them.
Yeah,
because if they have a gun over there, obviously, if they're stupid and they try to both jump over at the same time without guarding each other, I mean, these guys need to learn some weapon tactics. Is all I'm saying, Kev.
No.
And then there's this, truck. They got a picture of the truck. So during the robbery, the vape shop robbery, 2 escaped the business and went to their vehicle, described as a blue Chevy 1500 extended cab pickup. There, they armed themselves and then engaged the robbery suspects as the 3 left the business, killing 2 of the suspects, police say. Now, I do know for a fact in Louisiana, that's an open carry state. So, again, I don't know what the exact legality of the situation is as far as laying in wait in the parking lot for the criminals to come out. The smart thing to do would have been like, hey, let's call 911, then get our guns and say, we're going to stand here and wait for the bad guys to come out. So at least then you can say, I called the cops and I didn't want them to get away. While this was going on, the 2 customers escaped the business, went to their vehicle, blah, blah, blah. The 3rd robbery suspect escaped on foot and has not been identified. He is described as a black male who stands about 5'6", to 5'8", slender build, and he was wearing gray shorts and a black hoodie. Now, this is days later. I'm pretty sure he's not wearing those gray shorts and black hoodie anymore.
Well.
So people in Shreveport's Highland neighborhood are shaken up by the double homicide Saturday evening in Centenary Boulevard near Olive Street. I'm going to tell you, it was scary. It was very scary. One of the residents said, police said one of the slain men was found outside the shop while the other was inside the shop. So he might have been fleeing back into the shop.
Possibly.
Or he might have turned around and got shot by the clerk. You never know. I'm going to be honest with you. I was taking my son to work. I was at the stop sign when it happened. When everything happened, was in the car. That's a great quote, Kevin. Let's do that again. I'm going to be honest with you. I was taking my son to work. I was at the stop sign when it happened. When everything happened, was in the car. So let me break this down. So if I'm in that neighborhood and there was a shooting going on, and I started my sentence with, I'm going to be honest with you.
You're questioning that.
That might be a tell right there. He said he didn't know if the incident occurred inside the store. It had been, well, if it was, they would have video of it. The cops would know. It had to been because one in and one out. It had to been because one in and one out. It had to been because the young man that was on the other side, it looked like he was running. But as he got closer to the end of the building, he got slower and slower. So I knew he got shot. We heard gunshots and everything, but who did it? I can't tell you. Police early on described both Lee and Henderson as suspects. Neighbors say people in the community are upset because maybe because when they were children, I mean, that's the only way I can see it. But when you are doing wrong, you can't say how it's going to come back on you. And it's just so happened the day they did whatever they did, it came back to them the same day. I'm loving these quotes, Kevin.
Wow.
So, you know when there's a tornado,
yes,
and the news cameras come out. So the news photographers purposely find the worst looking trailer in the neighborhood, and that's the person that they're going to interview.
Yeah,
this is the same thing. I mean, I'm thinking that they could have probably found somebody with a little bit better diction.
Well,
maybe because they were children. I mean, that's the only way I can see it. But when you're doing wrong, you can't say how it's going to come out or come back on you. And it just so happened the day they did whatever they did, it came back on them the same day.
Your hillbilly is really poor.
I know, right? Whoever these little kids were, they actually went up in there and tried to rob them. And you know, people going to protect their goods. You know, so that's what I feel. I don't know if that happened, but that's what it seemed like. And then authorities are urging everybody to call the Crime Stoppers right here. These are some numbers. Yep.
Absolutely. Hey, did you find anything about paved girls going over there for the funerals of any sort at all? None? No. Tobacco-free kids reps, maybe? They're going to go over there and check?
No.
What?
No. You know, we could turn this into a live tweet situation. We really could.
Well, I already asked. I didn't assume they were going to go, though.
But they were minors, so there's not really. I mean, this is not a prohibition sort of thing. These are minors,
children.
You know,
it's all the children.
No, because they are going to turn around. If I tweeted at them this, they would say, "Well, this is because you're selling an addictive substance, and these young people got no options. This is your fault for selling a poison." Even though I don't sell nothing. But I just know what they could come back on us on that one, Kevin.
I'm poking the bear. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just want to know if they're attending funerals. I haven't heard them do one yet.
No.
It's not the first one. It won't be the last.
They ain't got no sympathy. They're just going to pop a Xanax and keep going, Kevin. That's all they're going to do. So if you didn't hear the news, Kathleen Crosby, the young lady at FDA who was at least open enough to appear at the ESIG conference 2 years ago when Mark was there and Skip was there and all that. We do got good. I got to get out of the redneck voice now. I got to talk like a civilized person now, Kevin. She is now going to be the chief. The chief poobah over there at the Truth Initiative. And, you know, we showed some video of her admitting that they've spent no time talking about harm reduction. We have the current head of FDA CTP saying that, you know, we need to fix this idea that people have in the public that vaping is worse than smoking. I mean, he did make some comments about fixing that problem and so forth and so on. So here, let me show you this new study, Kevin. You know how I like to show studies.
Yep.
So this study, I'm waiting for it to show up. This study, well, they're selling T-shirts. You want some T-shirts? This is fresh, clean tees. Hey, Parsival's here from Germany. Do you see that?
Parsival.
Hello, Parsival. So this study here, with this wonderful stock picture of an Ego battery with a CE4 and some cigarettes. This is old school for those young people that weren't here at the beginning. It says 4 in 5 adults still believe vaping is more harmful than smoking cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
You see homicidal just showed up too? See that? So it says here, Charleston, South Carolina. Vaping isn't exactly healthy, as many studies show. There are no safe tobacco products. However, it's still a safer alternative in comparison to traditional cigarettes. Surprisingly, a recent survey finds that a mere 20% of respondents think that e-cigarettes have fewer harmful chemicals than regular cigarettes. In other words, 4 in 5 adults seem to erroneously believe that vaping is actually more harmful to health than cigarettes. Notably, this misrepresentation is so common, it even persists among healthcare providers who may not realize there are these products, where these products fall on the, well, their scale of smoking risk, the risk continuum, whatever verbiage or nomenclature you want to use for that. And we've been talking about this over the years, Kevin. This is the worst version of this, though, because we know that they did a similar. I really don't want to have video of you shaving your head. But anyway, they did a survey in 2016. 70% of people polled knew that vaping was safer than smoking.
Yep.
They repeated that same thing in 2020, and it had exactly reversed itself. 70% of the general public knew that vaping was more harmful than smoking. And now here we are, 80% of people surveyed erroneously believed that cigarettes were safer than vaping.
They done good, didn't they?
Yeah. All the anti-fun police out there, all of those people, they're brainwashing the retarded masses and
Victor
getting away with it. So
away.
So anyway, it says, it breaks my heart that I've met with a lot of well-intentioned physicians who say to me, vaping is worse than smoking. And I say, no, that's not true, says MUSC Hollings Cancer Center, Benjamin Toll, PhD, director of MUSC. That's, I think, what is this, Missouri? MUSC, no, something. Oh, Medical University of South Carolina. Health Tobacco Treatment Program and co-director of the Lung Cancer Screening Program. Later scroll some more. In response to personal experiences, as well as the recent survey describing these misperceptions, Toll teamed up with Brian King of the FDA, the CTP, to write a commentary published online in the Scientific Journal of Addiction, which it's somewhere in the show notes, and we'll get to it in a little bit. It is kind of sad to me that people are so stupid, and actually this doesn't exactly meet the story, but later on there's a tweet that we're going to cover and a story that we're going to cover in the Rumble portion of the show later on that covers that if you tell people a lie on Twitter or anywhere else for that matter, there are some people that will actually believe that. Yeah, it's hard to believe, but there are lemmings and stupid people all over the place. So anyway, the commentary recommends that public health professionals keep 2 goals in mind. First, educate adults who smoke about the relative risks of various tobacco products, snus, nicotine pouches, vaping, all that stuff. I have no problem with any of those products. However, it's equally as important that any outreach effort is developed and implemented while keeping in mind the second goal, to prevent the use of any tobacco products by minors, which parents should be doing. I have no problem. I mean, if a kid's going to smoke or he's going to vape, I'm going to be less angry that he's vaping, but I'm still, if I was a parent, I'd probably still have to sit down and say, dude, you're making us all look bad. You got to stop. I want to be crystal clear that I am very opposed to vaping by minors, Toll clarifies. Youth use of any tobacco product is unsafe, and outreach strategies must not inadvertently make it seem like e-cigarettes are okay for youth to use. And if you remember the video from unTRUTH Kathy, now she's not unTRUTH. She's not FDA Kathy now. She's unTRUTH Kathy or Kathleen. She admits that in that video, kids are going to be kids. Kids are going to do stuff. FDA can't stop them. That's what she says in that video.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Did you want to be crystal?
Oh yeah, I was. I want to be crystal clear that I'm opposed to a double message for adults and kids. If the underage person is smoking cigarettes and you want the adults to do it, why wouldn't you want the underage to do it if they truly are people that smoke?
That's true.
The initiation.
I'd rather them do the safer thing, Kevin.
The initiation of the smoking or vaping is one thing. If you have someone who smokes at 16 and they're doing a pack a day, then you're saying, well, just keep doing that until you're older. It's fine, because you're giving them a mixed message, and it's all bullshit. So while I like the study that it finds and the findings, or don't like it actually, I don't agree with this shit. It's so fucking stupid. It is safer, well, except for kids. No, that's false.
I was taken aback by a comment in the middle. I heard everything you said, but I want to. Homicidal's in the chat room, and he says, "Oh, happy belated happiest cake day to Victor, our wonderful friend who provided Kevin the Victor all share Victor share screen." But initially, when I saw that, I thought it said Coke Day, and I was really looking for some white powder. But cake is okay too.
Victor.
I am not singing. Sorry. Love you, but not singing. Oh, and hello, Victor, because we didn't say hello to Victor when he came in. Victor. Yeah. So for current smokers looking to quit, researchers first suggest using FDA-approved medications and or tobacco treatment counseling to kick the habit, even though they know, and we know that they know those things don't work, at least not 93% of the time. But they want you to give their pharma partners some cash first, before you move to something that they know is much more successful at helping people quit.
Well,
yeah. Of course, plenty of smokers have tried those approaches already. For those individuals, transitioning completely to e-cigarettes could be a less harmful, although still not completely safe, route to quitting, but it's easier. There is a way to step down your nicotine as you're vaping and continuing, the hand to mouth, which is part of the addiction, habit.
The fixers told us that.
I'm not making a gesture that I should be doing on video. I'm just
I can't.
Sorry. Yeah. And the key word here is completely. To reap the most health benefits, smokers who use e-cigarettes should make a clean break from cigarettes. Earlier studies have found that people who both vape and smoke have similar levels of toxins in their bloodstream as people who only smoke, which is, I don't deny that. For me, the psychological victory of the cutting down is the first step to quit, right? So there are going to be some people that can't do it all in one day like I did or like other people have.
Correct.
That need to, cut down from 20 cigarettes to 10 cigarettes while they're vaping to 5 cigarettes to no cigarettes, That's fine as long as it's intended to remove the cigarettes even a little at a time until you don't need those cigarettes anymore. That's fine. You can't do it all in one day.
Yes, Ron.
Can't. Just can't. Anyway. To be clear, the researchers say the end goal for everyone should be to stop using all tobacco products. Again, there are no safe tobacco products. Again, the goal should be that people don't have high cholesterol. People don't eat McDonald's. People don't do whatever it is that they're doing that they don't want them to do. Now, my thing is that Kevin, me, our, homicidal, Raj, Mike, everybody, Victor, all the people that are here. My job and my goal is that we're all happy. And what we, if it makes you happy to vape or to smoke a cigar or even to smoke a fucking cigarette from time to time, have a shot of booze, snort a line of coke. No. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. Whatever it is that makes you happy, do it. Do what makes you happy. Now, understand that some of those things that make you happy may cause some harm to your physical health. That's your responsibility. It's not the government's responsibility to tell you what to do. That's not what this whole country thing that we live in, our wonderful republic. It's not designed to tell people what to do, but somehow it has been twisted and mutated and destroyed into this new thing where they feel like it's necessary to tell you what to do in the privacy of your own home. In Alabama, it's now illegal to vape or smoke in the privacy of your own car if there's a minor in the car. But yeah, they shouldn't tell you what to do on your own property. That's my feelings on the matter, Kevin.
Yep.
The dangers of combustible cigarettes are well documented. Cigarettes can cause dozens of types of cancer, as well as heart disease, stroke, diabetes, COPD. Still, Toll is concerned that many well-intentioned doctors may be advising patients to move from e-cigarettes to combustible cigarettes, wrongly thinking that e-cigarettes are more harmful. Well, because all these fucking stories that are circulating of spontaneous pneumothoraxes and E-Valley and all these things that you and I we've done all these shows talking about how they're bullshit. E-Valley wasn't us. That wasn't us.
Mm-hmm.
Spontaneous pneumothoraxes, that's not us. But there's still
I need you for the rest of this at the end of every paragraph where it says wrongly thinking that e-cigarettes are more harmful, comma, except for the kids. And then please continue on every
you want me to
single.
You want me to perpetuate the dual
yes,
dual messaging?
It's all in the narrative right there. I can't help it.
Mallory says, how would a person out of state or even out of country, how are they supposed to know that they can't smoke or vape in their car with minors in it? Well, ignorance of the law does not, make you immune to the law. That's the way it goes. I didn't know that when I was in California, I wasn't supposed to be concealed carrying the whole time I was there. But,
Oh. Whoops.
Sorry, I don't go anywhere without being clapped. That's not happening.
Whoops. Brainworms.
I'm never going to California ever again, though. So
there you go. See,
stay the fuck out of California. They don't want you to protect yourselves. While it's true that there is still a lack of long-term data regarding the health effects of e-cigarettes, and e-cigarettes are not FDA-approved smoking cessation devices, the research team still asserts that vaping generally entails fewer harmful chemicals than combustible cigarettes. In conclusion, no, I forgot. Except for kids. Yeah. In conclusion, the study authors call for the public health community to use evidence-based approaches in its existing channels to better educate adults who smoke about the relative risks of various tobacco products. However, it's also key that such efforts coincide with strategies aimed at preventing youth tobacco use. Just beat the shit out of your kids. They won't do it. I mean, let's promote child abuse, Kevin.
If you have a health problem and they have to give you a shot of something,
Yeah.
And it helps you, and it makes you feel better, and it you know, not cures, but let's say it just makes you feel better, sustains you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kid comes in, well, you're a kid, you can't have this.
Can't have it. Nope.
I know it's a weird parallel, but they need to shut up. They really do.
I'm just wondering. So if a young person, I don't, you know, if a young adult person or a young person has Crohn's disease,
okay,
and there are pharmaceutical products now for people that have Crohn's disease that have nicotine in them to treat their disease. So now, are they saying that if you're a young person that's under the age of 21, oh shit, and you have Crohn's disease, you're just gonna have to wait to get that treatment until you're 21 because these meds have nicotine in them.
Right. It's a lost cause. It's a double standard. It's a double message, and it's all bullshit.
Oh, I want to show off my new thing that arrived. Ooh. You won't care, Kevin, but this is actually a K-Fun for the billet box.
Ooh. You're right, I don't.
Those of you in the know that I am a huge fan.
I don't know.
The K-Fun, the K-Fun atomizer. This is a K-Fun atomizer for this.
He said want.
Yeah, I had a fight at the post office because the people that I purchased this from did signature on delivery, and I have informed delivery, which means that I can sign for a package on my phone before the delivery, and they still wouldn't leave it. So I had to go to the fucking post office. Really pissed me off.
Have they redecorated since you were there last?
I hate waiting in line for shit. I hate being around other people. I'm just a curmudgeon. I want to be curmudgeon-y. I don't want to
be happy like Victor. It's his birthday.
I know he's like 40 or something or 100.
Probably.
Anyway, Fort Smith high student nabbed for vaping, found with firearm and backpack.
Yeah, the vaping got him. The firearm was a secondary issue.
What's wrong with this headphone, Kevin, or with this headline?
Well,
no, I mean, the lead got buried in this. I mean,
well,
the lead got buried in this. I mean, the most important, the most dangerous, the most scary part of this whole thing is that this kid had a gun in his backpack, but the first thing they mention is vaping.
Well, of course.
I mean,
it's imperative. I've said it already. It's right there.
They're trying to stop a new pandemic, Kevin.
Oh my God.
The global epidemic of vaping.
This kid's got a lot more problems than them finding out that he's got a fucking vape in his fucking backpack.
Yeah. So
told you they could find them.
Gun-free school zone. I mean, now I did go to school a long time ago, Kevin.
What is that?
I did go to school in a very
drugs. Okay.
redneck area. Yeah, drug-free zone, gun-free school zone. Now, we did have pew-pews in the parking lot of my high school because most of the kids that had pickup trucks had gun racks, and the pew-pews were in the gun racks, and they would come to school and leave the pew-pews in the car.
Are we allowed to say pew-pews?
I say pew-pews all the time on the show. Pew, 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 pew. I see people on the YouTubes like say that they can't show guns on YouTube because they're afraid their channels will get blocked.
Yeah.
And I'm not showing one right now, but not because I'm afraid of that, because there are videos of people shooting guns at gun ranges on YouTube. So I can't understand how
Right.
there are actual videos on YouTube of people cleaning guns, like taking them apart and cleaning them and putting them back together. So I don't understand why there's ideas out here that showing pew-pews on the YouTubes is a thing, because there's video of Keanu Reeves at a gun range practicing for John Wick. There's Colleen Noir, who is a gun active or a gun rights activist guy. Tons of videos on the YouTubes. Michael Redfern. I get advertisements for gun holsters on YouTubes. So I don't know where that comes from, to tell you the truth, Kevin. Not because, I mean, unless it's an anti-logical sort of situation, there are videos on YouTube that are promoted videos.
I've watched
that show pew-pews. So yeah,
I obtained something a few weeks ago, and I wanted to see what I could see, and there was a plethora. Of videos.
Speaking of pew-pews, my wife says to me, she has a new friend who's a Taiwanese, not Taiwanese, a Thailand lady, a Thai lady, who has just moved recently. Her and her husband have just recently moved here, and she goes to the Zumbas with but at the same Zumbas that my wife is at, and they've been like eating lunch together on days off, on exercise days and stuff. And she is a gun girl, a gun lady. Like, her and her husband are gun people. And my wife says, we should go to the gun range with them. And I was like, you need to get me a gun. I said, I already told you. I will take you to the gun store. I will enroll you in a gun safety class. And when you pass the gun safety class, then I will purchase, or I will help you pick out a firearm.
Right.
But I am not going to be the one to teach you. And she said, why? I said, because even though I have plenty of experience in the area, I would be considered a subject matter expert in the area. You will argue with me. But if I put you in a class with a professional teacher,
that's the best.
You will not argue with him.
That's the best thing to do.
So I'm going to do that. If you want to, you can go. We'll get you an AR-15 or something. I said, I'll go out, and when we get the new AR for you, I'll pick up something for myself. That's how it works.
That's exactly how it works.
If you're getting a new gun, I'm getting a new gun. That's the way it works.
It's only fair.
I am currently feeling at a loss. I should have my own new long gun. I need a new long gun. It's been a while. So I'll pick up a rifle or a shotgun or something. But anyway, back to this story about guns and kids. A high school student in Fort Smith was arrested Wednesday after school officers found a firearm in their backpack after the student was caught vaping. Now, the first sentence of this story is correct. It's better. They put vaping second.
Priorities, people.
Right. But in the headline, to get people's attention, no, we got to put vaping first. So according to Fort Smith Public Schools, Northside High School administrators and Fort Smith Public School Police Department officers responded to a report of a student vaping around 2:45 p.m. Officers searched the student and discovered a gun in their backpack, the school said. Now, if it was me, Kevin, and I was a kid and had a gun in my backpack and I got caught vaping and they came up to me and said, "Were you vaping?" I would be like, "Yes, here's my vape." I would have been
seizure things coming to your mind, isn't it?
I would have been like, don't, I wouldn't have drawn any attention to my book bag. Yes, I am sorry. Here's my vape. Yeah.
Can I get one more hit from it?
Here. Yeah. There's no, it's tobacco. Here's a bottle of e-liquid that was in it. Here's some batteries.
Here's my booze, just in case you wanted that.
Here's my crack. No, there's no crack. But anyway, officers searched the student and discovered a gun in their backpack, this school said. The district said There's a lot. The district said school police immediately confiscated the firearm and arrested the student, charging them with a felony. See? That's what I'm saying. You don't obstruct. Say, yes, officer, here's my. Is that a ticket? You want to call my parents? Here's my parents. I would have been doing everything possible to stay the fuck away from the backpack.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well.
But the kids here, I did notice the kids here are carrying transparent black backpacks to school.
Some are.
Yeah. I've noticed in the mornings when I'm driving past the bus stop to go to get my coffee on my way to work, that they're all wearing transparent backpacks.
Yeah.
So Michael Redford says he won't be allowed back. Of course. Duh. He's probably not going to be allowed back in any public school. He's going to prison. Felony, that says. The case has been referred to the city's prosecutor. FSPS said in a news release, no students or staff were harmed in the incident thanks to the diligent surveillance work and collaborative efforts of campus police and school administrators. The incident is just the latest in a string of threats and safety protocols being broken as students return to school across Arkansas this week. On Monday, a student at an elementary school in North Little Rock brought a handgun to campus on the first day back to school. What the hell's in the water there in Arkansas, people?
I don't know.
The superintendent of the North Little Rock School District said after the discovery, they would be assessing how to better screen students as they enter school buildings. How about your parents maybe beat the shit out of these kids and search them before they leave the house?
Wow.
You're going to notice that's the second time I've mentioned beating kids. Stop beating your kids. I'm just joking.
And there's somebody somewhere going, oh, damn, he said stop.
Damn it, Patrick said I have to beat my kids now. Law enforcement in Grant County stepped up their patrols of Sheridan High School on Tuesday after an alarming video circulating causing safety concerns to student and staff. What kind of video? Tell us what was so alarming about the video. This is not, you need a little bit more detail on.
No.
Police in Benton are investigating after someone made an isolated threat to a elementary school. Authorities said extra security was put into place of the threat. So now I will say that this one and maybe this one, these two examples. Now, when I was a kid, there were multiple times during the year where, say, kids were tired of being at school and there was a payphone in the hallway and somebody would call the payphone and say, there's a bomb in the principal's office or, something like that. And then all the kids would get traipsed out into the band field outside of the school so that, they wouldn't have to be in class. Now, I did not do that, but I do know that it happened.
Yep.
Two of those bottom two kind of. No, the felony was for the gun, you dummy. I'm picking on Bill today. You see that? Bill said, so the felony charge was for the vape? No, it was for the gun.
If they had their way, it would have been.
Even in Arkansas. You see Andrew snuck in? You see that?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There's got to be something wrong in Arkansas.
So you can sneak in a vape and you can sneak in a handgun. And then if you vape, you're going to get caught with a handgun.
Yeah.
Because,
I think they need to be adding some psychological testing to some of these kids at these schools. I can promise you that if somebody was actually paying attention to those kids, they would probably have seen that there's some warning signs going on.
You think? Maybe he was afraid of being accosted for vaping.
Maybe he was, and Steve says, why aren't they saying if the student was male or female? Well, there is the anonymity thing, but also they could have been a they. They could have been one of those non-gendered people. I've been seeing that there's a new thing for people don't want to be either. So does that mean that sometimes they pee standing up and sometimes they sit? I don't want to make jokes about that, but I do actually want to make jokes about that.
It's okay.
Person, Kevin. I'm an awful person.
You're an awful person. Well, you were anyway, so.
Speaking of awful people, Kevin, I'm going to be awful. There's some we have ladies in this chat room, right? Yeah, there's some ladies here.
I imagine there are.
Let me double check over here at the Rumbles.
This is about the stupidest headline I've seen. Well, in the past hour. Because
there's actually a new person over in the Rumbles bantering less. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so this person is an esthetician, and says that she can spot vape skin a mile away because it causes wrinkles, sagging, and premature aging. Vaping causes the skin to dry out and become wrinkled.
Hydrate.
So if you look closely at Kevin, Kevin is really only 25.
The dry, ashy feeling that I have all the time. I can't.
I've seen video of Addie, and Addie looks like he's aged really bad because I think he's only like 26.
Ed's been using the same photo since 1931,
and
we don't know. We just don't know.
The Thunder from Down Under.
He's like 30.
He's aged really poorly because he looks like he's 70 in that, on his videos. So it says here, skincare professionals have issued warnings about the common behaviors that can adversely affect one's skin. So according to Lydia Rose, the
idiot in charge.
I can't even read what this said.
That's what you need right there.
Mini Glow, the Gemini Glow, the Gemini Glow. Many people are unaware that it is possible to spot someone who smokes an e-cigarette from a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
Following a comment made by a user on TikTok suggesting that it's not necessary to be able to smell a regular user of e-cigarettes, a licensed esthetician, I have a hard time saying that word, provided an explanation of the damage that e-cigarettes do to the skin. Yes, it's a vape skin, Lydia replied. Especially in younger people, crow's feet start to wrinkle and skin becomes dull and solemn, almost like a shade of gray, the doctor said. Doctor? A licensed esthetician is not a fucking doctor.
I just can't. Why do you do this to me? I just don't understand.
It's starting to discolor around the mouth. Now, Kevin's discoloration around the mouth has nothing to do with the vape that he sticks in his mouth. It's something else that he sticks in his mouth that causes
I just told you this like 3 weeks ago. 3 or 4. My friend Steve said, geez, you look good. And I'm like, well, how fucking bad did I look before? So this woman is full of shit.
Yeah. Texas tourist, I'm a huge cigar smoker, but we're not talking about that right now.
Hello, Texas tourist.
There's nothing. You're welcome.
We like that. We like you to do that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, Anyway, a licensed esthetician is not a doctor.
I feel bad for all the ones that are smart because this one makes the rest of them look stupid.
It's not. You're not a doctor. Just saying.
This is all I have to say. Hydrate.
Lydia also mentioned that regular use of electronic cigarettes hastens the aging process of the skin. The sagging of the skin begins much earlier. She stated further Due to the fact that my family is in the dental field, I was able to notice this. Now, it's very likely that the teeth will start showing symptoms a good deal earlier than the skin. My dentist. No, nobody's mad at you, Texas Taurus. You're welcome. You're welcome to hang out. Nobody. No.
We ain't against cigars either.
We're your friends. I promise. I got a humidor over there. It's full of cigars. Just not lighting one up in the middle of the show. Anyway, but if you actually, this includes you, because they're talking about cigarette smoking, cigars, e-cigarettes causing people's skin to prematurely age.
Yeah.
And they're calling a licensed esthetician a doctor. This is, I'm just trying to drive Kevin crazy, because when I bring up stupid shit articles like this, he gets really riled.
It's going to be like 9 minutes of all of our lives that none of us will get back.
I'm going to clip this and make this a short just for you, Kevin.
Oh, my fucking word.
Just for you.
What have I told you? This is why we can't have nice things, and this is why I don't like you, right here.
I don't want to be liked, really.
Ugh. You're making
additionally, wrinkles.
Age.
Kevin, hold your hat up so I can see the wrinkles in your forehead. Additionally, wrinkles in the forehead tend to appear quite young. Getting older is not a problem for me. In fact, I think it's quite lovely.
Fuck.
But if you're only 18 and you already have lots of fine lines, your skin, your body, and your mind are all pleading you for assistance. In addition, I have acne on the lower half of my face and both of my cheeks. Now, this is an esthetician who is saying that she's got acne. I mean, isn't it part of her job to not have that? I mean, if you went to a licensed skincare person and they had pizza face, wouldn't you just go to another esthetician? So acne on the cheeks is typically associated with lung issues, Kevin, while acne on the lower body is typically associated with visceral issues. Now, I started smoking cigarettes when I was like 12, Kev.
Yeah.
And I never had pizza face when I had perfectly good skin when I was a kid.
I had a little. It wasn't crazy, but
yeah,
the typical teenage acne bullshit. It wasn't
Michael Redford
minor. It wasn't
that he wouldn't go to a dentist that had fucked up teeth. You wouldn't go to a nutritionist that weighed 400 pounds.
Well, no, probably not.
And why would you go to a licensed esthetician that had a face full of acne? I'm just saying. Yeah. A licensed esthetician made the claim that she was able to locate clients who smoked electronic cigarettes before touching their skin during the initial session. I understand that not everyone is able to quit smoking, so smokers should moisturize and use sunscreen every day. Both antioxidants and vitamin C are utilized in the treatment process. I know you're spending a lot of money on e-cigarettes, but save a little bit for treatment to protect your skin from. I actually do spend a lot of fucking money on this,
You do.
Yeah.
Geronimo, legally, no.
No, Geronimo, children are not allowed to use any tobacco product in the United States until they are 21. And we would never promote youth usage of tobacco products. Did you see that Fig says that you moisturize every day? But the problem is he's moisturizing below the belt.
Well, really, my hips are important. My hips are important.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's no metal in vaping. That's bullshit.
I'm just going to point to the side and the rest.
I got like 500,000 pages of science that disprove that. I'm not exaggerating. We have like entire websites dedicated to disproving this nonsense. But anyway, yes. Back to the fun.
Hi, Fig.
Did you see? Fig says, "Oh, hi, everyone." You see how that?
He just texted me a little while. I was ignoring you listening to it or reading his text, and then I realized I've missed about 15 of them, and I don't understand why. Anyway,
Yeah.
Back to your bullshit story.
I can't.
I gotta find her.
I'm just doing this to piss you off. You know that, right? The comments suggest that many people were taken aback by Lydia's posts, which ultimately led them to giving up the habit. Miss OC begged the doctor to tell her there was some way to repair the damage to her skin. Again, esthetician, not a doctor. Not a doctor. Not a doctor. No.
I've got more experience than she does.
Kevin, have you been applying skincare products and makeup to your face for a long time?
I'm a chucklehead, and I know better. And I'm not talking about the esthetician part.
Okay, I'll stop torturing you with the bullshit article.
Oh, my fucking word. I need to start looking through these things before I just turn off the camera and wait 20 minutes until you're fucking done. Good God.
Yeah. Oh, no, Bantering wants me to continue over in the Rumbles. Bantering, should I continue with
it's your time, buddy. This is so sad.
I could.
You've got.
I think I have another 20 articles that we can do.
To my knowledge, and everybody can correct me all they want to. You got PG and VG. One of them dries you out. You drink fucking water. You hydrate like you normally should to begin with, and then you're probably better off. And then, if necessary, I would never go to an esthetician. I would go to your doctor if you have dry skin and say, "Hey, I still got dry skin even though I'm hydrating."
They actually have doctors that are skincare doctors that are perfectly able to assist you with that problem. They're called dermatologists. I'm just,
there you go.
Yeah.
See?
I actually did go to a dermatologist because I thought this was skin cancer, but it was just a mole.
Just a mole, and you can be allergic to PG, VG, whichever.
You cannot be allergic to PG, Kevin.
Okay, then it's
hypoallergenic. You can be sensitive to it, but you cannot be allergic to it.
Sensitive. Right. So I've heard a few people say
you can be a candy ass too. I'm just saying.
I just want to be an esthetician when I grow up.
You and I
can say
and a lot of other people that vape, we enjoy having that throat hit. It's the same thing when you're smoking a cigarette. You get a little bit of a scratchy hit in the throat. That's part of the experience that you enjoy. That's part of it. So the PG does that. Now, some people claim that it's more harsh than what they were used to.
Right.
And Phil did an entire video discussing how when you first start vaping, the emissions are moisture, much more wet. I don't want to say wet because it's not liquid, but then a cigarette, which is combusted, so it's smoke, so it's dry.
Right.
So it does feel heavier in the chest initially. But then as you get used to it, you enjoy that experience in a different way than smoking, but still enjoyable. And you still get your nicotine, which your body craves and wants, without all the other horrible shit that's in there. Now, a cigar, Texas Taurus, most people that smoke cigars do not inhale into their lungs the cigar. But I do know people that do. And they enjoy it. And they're, if they're a 90-year-old cigar freak and they want to do it, more power to them.
Have at it. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, when I was smoking, double and triple Ligero cigars, I am not inhaling that because that feels like a fucking elephant on your chest. They're that awesome. Or Nivel Dura, which is a very strong cigar. You don't inhale those. You just, roll them around in your mouth, maybe blow them out your nose a little bit, get them in there in it. But yeah. Anyway, here, I got a video here for you, Kev. This will be a palate cleanser.
Sure.
The health risks of long-term e-cigarette use are still being studied. New research is shining a light on the impact on respiratory health of young people.
E-cigarettes are by no means risk-free. E-cigarettes carry a potential respiratory risk.
Elena Tackett and her colleagues carried out a study looking at symptoms young people reported in school-based surveys after about a month of e-cigarette use.
In this study, we found that past 30-day e-cigarette use was associated with symptoms of shortness of breath and symptoms of bronchitis.
Those symptoms were reported after e-cigarette use, regardless of the use of cannabis, traditional cigarettes, or secondhand smoke exposure, which Tackett says signals that vaping is harmful on its own.
Any young person who's not using any other products really should be aware and make a thoughtful choice before initiating e-cigarette use.
The CDC says most e-cigarettes contain nicotine, which is highly addictive and can also harm the developing.
All right. So there's enough of this. So of course,
the James
most e-cigarettes, but they're showing all disposables. You saw that. I don't know of any disposable vaping device that doesn't have nicotine in it. So it says right on the packaging. So you can't be a kid. There are kids out there that will say, I didn't know. It's right on the fucking packaging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just saying. Yeah. I'm not playing the rest of this. It's just stupid. Is that enough of a palate cleanser before I show you the next thing that's going to rile you up, Kevin?
That's Ohio State, the James. Anyway, I didn't see that one.
Well, I mean, it's Ohio State. I mean, it's not like a good school.
Well, they put out a whole lot of estheticians out. I'm telling you what.
Probably.
Well, that's my thought. All right, I'm ready. Well, if I'm going to like it, but I'm ready.
Oh. It's a tweet. It's a tweet.
Oh,
Kevin, do you have your Vape Cats tweet of the week?
I do.
Let's go ahead and let's do this now. Let's do the Vape Cats tweet of the week right now.
Vape Cats tweet of the week.
I still need to make a bumper for that. I still need to make some little video presentation for that.
So I can't really. I'm not going to play the video. The link is in the show notes, right?
Yes.
Of my tweet. So I'm going to share the Victor screen.
Don't play the video though, because that will cause you to go all robot-y and shit.
Well, now it's not showing the.
It's not showing what? I have it open on my screen.
All right, you do it. Victor, share screen.
I'm assuming this is Kevin's entry into the Vape Cats tweet of the week.
Yes.
This is a tweet from Asia Harm Reduction Alliance.
Yeah.
With our very good friend, Dr. Konstantinos Farsalinos, who's right here. And Dr. Mara Glover is also on the video. It is an hour-long video, over an hour-long video.
Yeah.
So we're not going to play it. But right here on the stage, you can see, is that Pelosa? Who's the far left fella?
I couldn't tell, and I didn't dig enough.
You said you asked for tolerance from the government. In my opinion, I think that the government should ask you for help. Don't laugh.
Yeah.
This is happening in the UK.
Absolutely.
In the UK, the vapers and the vaping retail market is acting as smoking cessation services. That's exactly how they act. In the UK, the government has opened vape shops, they are private, of course, inside hospitals.
Yes.
Inside the hospital, inside the building of a hospital, not close to the building, inside the building. Why? Because this is what will motivate smokers to switch. The UK government and the public health authorities have acknowledged that vape shops in the UK act like smoking cessation centers. And knowing that the Bangladeshi government has set a goal to become smoke-free in 2040, as I said, they should be asked.
Now, at least Bangladesh is smart enough to put it far enough into the future that it's achievable. And when they say smoke-free, all of these policies are 5%. They want to hit 5%. At 5%, they say we're smoke-free. Yes, we need to call it the post of the week or the X of the week now, since it's not Twitter anymore, Kevin. Thank you, Bill, for pointing out that I.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Asking vapers and the retail market for help in order to convince, to inform, communicate, and convince smokers to try to make a switch to less harmful products. I will disagree.
So, yeah. And there's no, Marwa is not in this clip, but there is a YouTube link right here on the tweet.
No. No, I use this on occasion
of the entire presentation.
A few others do as well. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what public health looks like. That's what public health looks like. He said convince, he said inform. Dr. Farsalinas can say whatever the fuck he wants, but that's what public health looks like. Here's information. Here's what you can do. Now you do what you like. And Dr. Glover, I'm sure, is on the exact same page. I won't speak for her, but I will guess. Need to know. That's all I want. That's all I care about. Need to know.
So
you got 14 minutes.
That was a great little
you.
presentation.
Thank you. Oh,
I'm not giving you credit for Dr. Farsalinos' words.
No, I don't want credit for Dr. Farsalinos.
So here, this is not really, this is sort of vaping adjacent, and only because when I saw this tweet, I was like, oh, this is going to be so good. All the people that have blocked me will be able to see my wonderful words again. You know, this does address William's comment earlier. So Elon posts that the block is going to be deleted as a feature, except for DMs. Well, Elon's being community noted by his own app. You know, community. If you are you can apply to become a community noter on X now. But anyway, the community note says that Elon Musk cannot do this. The feature to block someone on the site is required as a social media app to be allowed on the App Store and the Apple App Store and the Google Store. So,
see, there you go.
Sadly, not Colin. Yeah, no. What's the guy that blocked me the last time that everybody was so happy that I finally got blocked by? Simon Chapman.
Yeah.
Will no longer be, or he will continue to miss out on my extraordinary X's or posts or whatever the fuck we're going to call them now.
As you will his. That's right.
And I don't have to
How
look
will
at
I
his
learn?
inane nonsense.
How do I learn when they block me? I don't understand.
But I do think that it was wonderful that even Elon got community noted. You know, he's not above the law on his own app. But I could see in my head all of my friends in the Twitter and the X sphere. When they initially saw this, they were like, ooh, all those jackasses that have us blocked. Campaign for tobacco-free kids has Kevin blocked. They haven't blocked me, but they blocked Kevin. They're missing out on all of Kevin's great tweets.
I'm kinder, Kevin, as Eddie has informed you, and I don't know why they blocked me.
I don't either, because it's not like you say rude words or anything on Twitter.
I'm harsh, but I don't. I really
maybe you called yourself a chucklehead in a tweet.
Well, that's
and they thought you were insulting them. Maybe.
Lots of facts and science and notes and links.
I'm just concerned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
what?
Oh, should I?
Well, you should.
Yeah.
Why not? What is it? I ain't scared. Doesn't matter to me.
I got to get through the ads first.
As long as you get the hate mail, I don't care what you say.
Nobody hates me, Kevin.
More importantly, nobody likes you. So
I'm loved.
Are the Rumbles people getting all riled up and excited? I hope.
Oh, let me look over here at Rumbles. Not recently. No, they're not. They're not getting. They're not rumbling. They're not rumbling right now. Thank you for the reminder, though, because I don't want them to say that I'm ignoring them. That would be rude.
Well,
that would be. Now, in the category of this is why we can't have nice things, Kevin.
Yeah. Is it me?
This is a news piece that I saw several different versions of, but it says drunk mum lashed out at Ryanair crew after being asked to stop vaping on a plane.
Was one of the pave girls flying again?
Jessica Horn was told to stop vaping, which is forbidden, 5 times before she finally stopped.
Oh, damn.
Now, I will say that there are some Karens that do vape. Don't get me wrong. They're not all the people that vape, not all the women that vape, not all the men that vape. None of them are perfect. Some of them are assholes. Just saying. Now, I do know that Ryanair at one point, because it's an Irish airline, Kevin, Ryanair actually were handing out e-cigarettes about 5 years ago to all the smokers that wanted to fly.
In flight. Wow.
Apparently
I remember that. I didn't know who it was.
It was Ryanair. Yeah.
Wow.
So this young lady here, see, she even has resting bitch face right now. Just saying. Got a little RBF going on right here. A 33-year-old woman who drunkenly abused a Ryanair flight attendant after being asked to stop vaping on board a plane has avoided jail. Jessica Horn kicked off during a flight from Fuerteventura to Manchester in March of last year. She shifted from seat to seat around the plane after trying to touch and kiss the member. Kiss the member.
It's a different show.
Don't be kissing.
Why is this a year ago? What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Well, speedy trial. This is Europe. They don't have the constitutional speedy trial thing. She tried to kiss the member before launching an expletive-ridden racist rant. There's an ad for shoes. A prosecutor, Lisa Bucock, that's an unfortunate name, told Minchell Street Crown Court the abuse was the worst he, the member of the staff, had ever seen. Horn, her partner and their child were on board the flight when she was asked by a cabin crew member to cease vaping, which is strictly prohibited during the flights. Bucock, I'm double checking on the other monitor. Bucock, that's the name. The cabin crew member had to tell her 5 times to stop vaping for her to eventually stop. What? I got a page unresponsive here.
Well,
it says page unresponsive. On the runway, when the plane landed, she was met by police, but as they escorted her back to custody, she attacked the 2 officers. So how is she getting away with not going to jail then?
She was drunk.
That's what it says up here, that she is not going to jail.
Wow.
Here, if you attack police officers, you're going to jail. I'm just saying. I'm concerned about how these our friends in the UK. Sounds like a very dangerous place to live. I'm just saying. Yeah. They don't have dentists over there? No, shit. Damn, did I just say that out loud? Horn admitted she was drunk when she entered the plane and admitted to racially aggravated harassment and 2 offenses of assaulting a police officer, but was handed a suspended sentence because she slept with the judge. The cabin crew told Horn, who had been drinking beer in Fuerteventura. Where the fuck is Fuerteventura? Kevin, Google that. Tell me where that is. All day before the flight. 5 times to stop that. I bet you it's like the British Virgin Islands or something like that. 5 times to stop vaping before she eventually stopped, the court heard. Bucock said he took her. Oh, so the guy's name is Bucock. He took her to the back of the plane to calm her down, and one passenger offered her his seat so he could sit away from her family, so she could sit away from her family. So her kids are driving her to drink and vape on a plane. That's what it is. As her partner was also complaining about her behavior.
Wow.
Defendant then touched the flight attendant and tried to kiss him on the cheek.
Just that's how you get to get.
So his name is Bucock, but he is filing charges for a woman trying to kiss him. Steve says it's in the Canary Islands.
Canary Islands.
That's where Fuerteventura is.
I agree, Mike. She's just a drunk mom. Why? Well,
Mom.
I'm so sad.
So Kevin says that he's only available for 4 more minutes.
That's right. We'll turn into a pumpkin.
I believe I'm going to make him stay longer.
You can't. You can believe. You're allowed.
I can show you this next thing. I can show you this next thing, which will probably make you stay. Michael Redford's leaving. What the hell? Y'all all can't prematurely evacuate or ejaculate.
Oh.
So it says here, a quarter of the submissions from vape users to the Australian inquiry parrot text from tobacco industry campaign. So now they're going to throw away a quarter of their submissions because they say the same things as the tobacco industry, because maybe what they're saying is true. Anyway, exclusive study finds that 26% of individual responses to the TGA, that's the Therapeutic Goods Administration, vaping reforms contain text from templates provided as part of an astroturfing campaign.
Now, you've discussed this before.
What, astroturfing?
No, in a different context, where when there's a call to action and everybody copies and pastes and does the same thing.
And people don't listen to me, though, because it's easy to do cut and paste.
Well, that's literally what that may.
Yeah, that's what that's why CASA doesn't like me, because I did tell them that very expensive piece of software that they use to create the calls to action that make it easy for people to submit stuff is going to get labeled astroturfing because all the submissions look the same. More than 1/4 of submissions from individual e-cigarette users made to the Australian government's vaping reforms consultation featured text from an astroturfing campaign led by the tobacco and vaping industry, bypassing conflict of interest declaration requirements, a study has found. The WHO defines astroturfing as the faking of a grassroots movement that in reality is being controlled by a hidden multinational company or organization, in this case, the tobacco and vaping companies. Now, how many international vaping companies are there?
How many can they name in this article?
None.
Oh,
well,
see.
I mean, I don't know, Juul, maybe? Reynolds, but they don't give a shit. They're not putting together any campaigns. They're not doing that. The study, led by the University of Melbourne and published in the Journal of Health Promotion International, analyzed more than 2,385 public submissions made in response to the TGA's vaping reforms proposal. Researchers then excluded submissions made by organizations and institutions, focusing just on the 1,405 submissions made by self-identified e-cigarette users. The study's lead, Professor Michelle Junganellis, who is the deputy director of the Melbourne Center for Behavioral Change. Let me highlight the words behavioral change because that just means brainwashing. Read every submission and found 370 of them, or 26%, contain text from a template provided by a vaping industry-led organization as part of an astroturfing campaign encouraging e-cigarette users to oppose reforms. The paper does not name the company responsible for the astroturfing campaign. I know who that is, and they are not multinational organization, Kevin. They're not even a multi-million-dollar organization.
They're not. What?
They're like a multi-thousand-dollar organization.
Well, there you go.
That is, it's a shame that these mom and pop businesses. Right. I gotta refresh my drink, Kevin.
Yeah. It's a shame they have to fight as hard as they are
compared to big tobacco. Right.
Well, it makes it simple for the people that don't like anything.
Yeah.
We're gonna call you tobacco. Now you're tobacco. So
now you're you're evil dealers in death, Kevin.
Yeah. Idiots.
Death dealers. Yeah. So they're blaming British American and vaping Australia. Yeah. Because it says that the ads for Responsible Vaping Australia don't mention in any of their stuff that they're funded by British American Tobacco.
I don't think it matters.
Can you show me proof that they are?
Well, 322 submissions, by golly.
That has to be. If 322 descendants of convicts submit letters, they must be paid by somebody.
There has to be something to that, right?
Yeah.
All right, son. Good night. It's been fun and it's been real.
Don't be a sissy.
Nope.
Don't be a sissy.
I have a commitment that I cannot miss too early in the morning to.
Well, just sleep less.
Fuck around with. No. There's other issues too, but I'm old and I have to say good night.
Yeah, you're a big sissy.
I love every damn one of you, and I wanted to get on the Rumbles again, but I can't. So, this shithead's he's got more. He's got lots more. Don't go away.
I've already skipped a whole bunch just to get to that one. Yes, I did.
All right, I'm going to try to be graceful, but I love you all. Behave yourselves.
He doesn't. He's just saying that.
He's
a liar. Don't believe anything he says.
Good night.
I should just kick him out of the studio. Does he? See, he just turned his camera off. He didn't even hit the leave studio button.
I don't even know where it is until I get out of here.
It's a little red button that says leave studio.
There we go. Well, I'm hiding it from my mic.
It's the only red button.
Good night, kids.
I swear to God, he's losing his mind. Now it's just me. It's just me. I could invite Steve's Vapes or somebody in here if they wanted to come in and read articles with me, but I'll try to do this. I'll try to do this all by myself. Let's see. I can read articles by myself. I don't need Kevin. I don't need you, Kevin. I don't need you. But it is better to have somebody to what? I can't read this article because it says that I have to create an account. I'm not doing that. I'll have to read a different article. That's okay. It happens. It wasn't behind the paywall when I opened it on my phone. I will say that. But anyway, here, let me present. I will present a screen over here. There it is. All right, here we go. This says school officials cracking down on discipline for students caught with vapes and e-cigarettes. And there's a video. I bet you $10 there's a commercial. Let's see. Just between you and me. Yeah, I told you.
If you want a hip and groovy spot to pursue your success.
A hip and groovy spot. We're not listening to the hip and groovy music because that they might sting us for that. But anyway, when it says I can skip this ad, I will skip it right there. I can hit skip now. Let's turn some audio on now. All right.
Bill about the new law. The passing of House Bill 114 is shedding light on the growing problem.
You know, I think our legislators they're trying to curb some of the things that happen with vapes.
Consequences students may face this year for being caught.
So they're saying that the law is shining a light on a problem, not that the problem existed and then they created in a law. I think they got something backwards here. I'm just, it's kind of confusing.
Are much more serious.
You know, it's not good for students, obviously, and it's a health concern. So any vape device, they're going to be having to go to that AEP placement. So
and this is similar to what they've done here in Texas. So if you're, I believe this is not Texas, but if a kid gets caught here, they get sent to a diversionary school. It's like being punished, which I have no problem with. If kids break the rules, then beat their ass. No, I don't beat your kids.
AISD, it's a maximum of 3 days in the alternative education program. Other schools like River Road are taking an even bigger approach.
Since we had already tightened up on it, all we really had to do was kind of change that. So what we've decided to do is first offense is 10 days at DAP, second offense is 20, third is 30, and it'll just keep progressing by 10-day increments like that.
Freeman says she's hopeful the law will make a big difference in their schools. However, she does have some concerns.
So if a kid gets caught for a third offense, they get sent to this diversionary school for 30 days. Does it affect the fact that they can graduate on time? Because if that's the case, I would have gotten caught on purpose just so I could go to the school where all the cool kids are. It sounds like they're actually getting what they want. They should have to stay at the crappy school where all the nerds are.
Right now, like for middle school, we have 10 slots. High school has 10 slots. That's really all you can fit and manage in those classrooms. If the numbers don't go down from what they were last year, DAP will fill up very quickly.
Freeman urges parents to talk with their child about consequences of vaping. Kylie Frazier, News.
Yes, parents, do your job. Parent your children. If I broke the rules and got sent to a diversionary school, I would have got my ass beat, and there would have been long-term consequences. Steve says the cool kids are the nerds. Dude, did you not see my tweet today? Here, I got a Rogue Trooper #1. This is almost as good as a Judge Dredd #1. Look at that. 75 cents back in the day. Look, see, I am a nerd. Just saying. But anyway, it is what it is. Kids are gonna break the rules. Kids are gonna do shit. There's not really much you can do other than be a parent and say to the kid, where did you get your stuff? Because yours is better than no, don't do that. No. I had a friend in school who had better pot than his dad. But anyway, let's present. This says FDA. This is for the cigar the cigar guy. This is actually a piece about cigars. Let's share the screen. I bet you he left though. He might still be here. FDA's latest power grab attempt on cigars was needlessly and dangerously undermines its own authority. And this is from Steve Forbes. We like Steve Forbes. He's a smart millionaire. Anyway, people's trust of public health officials is alarmingly low because from time to time, they've relied on politics rather than on science when making decisions. This episode of What's Ahead, it's a video piece, examines a small but telling example of this malfeasance. Several years ago, the FDA went after premium cigar products of a cottage industry. And these are like hand-rolled, like premium cigars that cost anywhere from $9 a stick to like $30 or $40 or $50 or I mean, an Opus X could cost you $90. So these are not the cigars that kids would be, I mean, unless they're rich kids and they're sneaking into their dad's humidor. And they're not going to take this down and turn it into a blunt. These are not the types of cigars that the kids are going to use. Anyway, several years ago, the FDA went after premium cigar products of a cottage industry as if they were the equivalent of cigarettes. Finally, a federal court firmly smacked down the FDA's egregious overreach. Unfortunately, the FDA's scientific misbehavior continues elsewhere, most murderously with vaping. Just as it did with cigars, the agency equates vaping with cigarette smoking. The reality is that vaping is the most effective tool in getting smokers to quit. And there's a tweet from Steve Forbes. And the video piece is not embedded here. Not. Maybe. Let's see. Let's see what this video says.
The migration crisis, the fresh water crisis, the climate crisis, quantum computing help with any problems the world is facing. Our limitations right now is...
it's a commercial. Let's mute the commercial. Mute the commercial. Bruni, at 14, parents knew they couldn't stop me from smoking, so they set rules of where I could smoke. School said I couldn't smoke in uniform, so I stopped wearing one. Well,
federal court saves premium cigars from the clutches of the FDA. Smokers can breathe easier. The rest of us should too, given the overreach of the FDA. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. One reason people's trust of public health officials is alarmingly low is that, shockingly, they have on occasion let politics trump science, or sometimes they've simply indulged in prejudice and emotional preferences. Pushing COVID vaccines on young people, for instance, was medically
Oh, you know what? Before I get in trouble on YouTube for anything having to do with that, this might be a good time to exit all the other platforms and roll over to YouTube or to Rumble, where we can do the after party over there. So let's put a hold on this, play some exit music, and I'll meet everybody over at Rumble that wants to go over to Rumble. If you don't go to Rumble, that's fine. I love you guys. The link for this is actually in the show notes, so you could watch it at your own leisure. There were a few pieces that I didn't discuss, and there is one that I was holding for the Rumble anyway from Christopher Snowden. So if you want to do that, let's just do that now before YouTube gets mad at me for talking about that thing, the vaccine thing, and the other thing. But anyway, love you guys. I'll play us out, and I'll meet you over at the Rumbles. Let's play something. I can't play the 3-minute outro. That would drive you guys crazy. Let's find a shorter one for this. Here, we'll play this one. See y'all over there later.
If we look at a subset of smokers who are otherwise unable or unwilling to quit, they're going to continue to smoke that pack of cigarettes. Half of them will die prematurely later in life from that decision. If we could get all of those people to completely switch all of their cigarettes for one of these non-combustible products, that would be good for public health.